So I was on my way to travel, to Changi Airport, utilizing my Crypto.com card to get free airport lounge. But then suddenly, I saw the news. That's right, Crypto.com card got nerfed again. Well, the good thing is that this nerf didn't really affect me, so I did manage to enjoy free beers and food, even though I'm not quite a beer person. But this really made me wonder, with more perks gone, is it even worth keeping my Crypto.com card? And more importantly, right, did you even know that there is actually an inactivity fee for not using Crypto.com card? So there's a workaround. Let's talk about how you can avoid this fee, what are some tricks you can use, as well as this nerf. What is it about and why I think this nerf is particularly bad. So before we begin, I'd like to make a quick shout out to Bloomer SG. Bloomer SG is a subsidiary of MediaCorp and they connect local influencers like myself with brands like 1PA, banks, and many more. Their goal is to support 1,000 Singapore-based creators and they're currently running an accelerator program. So if you're a local creator and you want to meet other like-minded individuals and expand your reach, right? I highly recommend you check them out, link over here as well as in the description box below. FYI, I was actually part of the accelerator program along with around 30 other creators, and what I really like is that they don't, number one, restrict you from working with your own sponsors, number two, affect or limit your content style, and number three, take a cut from your own sponsorship deals. So if that still doesn't convince you to check them out, I really don't know what will. Without further ado, back to the video. So what is this nerf? Basically, in the past, you could enjoy Spotify or Netflix, depending on your card tier, every single month without limits. In essence, this gives the Ruby or Indigo card tier holders a very good rate of return. But now they've changed it to just 6 months instead of in perpetuity. So it may not seem like much, but that's not what makes it really painful, you see. Because a couple months back, there was actually a nerf that brought down the cashback rates of the Crypto.com cards to a level that wasn't competitive. So you see, back then when you compared Crypto.com to other fast free cards, Crypto.com was actually up top. But what happened was that they actually nerfed the card about 2 months back, and now that Crypto.com card essentially became not so competitive anymore. In fact, the Ruby tier is no longer competitive. The only reason why I felt that it was worth considering or keeping the card would be the other perks such as your Spotify or your Netflix, right? So if you calculate the rate of return of getting free Spotify, it's overwhelming. So with this context in mind, you can see why this nerf to the additional perks apart from the lowered cashback rates is gonna hit really, really hard. And more importantly, for users of the Crypto.com card, I think a lot of us will be wondering, is this the end of the nerf? Are there going to be more nerfs coming along the way? Well, honestly, I don't know the answer, but if I can speculate, right, so this is purely my own speculation, I don't think that this is the end. They're probably going to have to cut back on some of perks because ultimately, right, the price of cryptocurrencies is governed by supply and demand. And right now, a lot of the perks are being given through this thing called the Crow token. So when I look at Crypto.com, I understand that they are giving a lot more crows, and I don't understand how they are burning more crows. So essentially, if they keep increasing supply, the oversupply will cause the price of Crow to fall. So they're giving Crypto.com tokens in a lot of different ways, but I don't see or find any significant statistics on how many Crows do they burn in a month. This means Crow tokens would fall, and when Crow tokens fall, this means that as a Crow token holder, or basically you get your rebates in Crow, they get less and less valuable, which is not sustainable if you want to convince people to lock up Crow in order to get the card. So then some of you might have already signed up while the perks were good like myself. Then you may be wondering hey, why not just cancel the card, exit? Well, turns out when I checked out the numbers, it's not so easy to cancel your card. There is actually fees involved if you, number one, try to exit. Number two, do not use the card for after 12 months. In fact, they charge you monthly until your account is drained, and then they will cancel your account. And this brings me to my workaround. How do you avoid these fees? Turns out that if you keep or drain your account of all cash inside of it, your account will automatically be closed at no cost to you. So you will not be charged inactivity fee or account closure fee because there's no money inside. The other alternative is you could just use the card once a year and not be charged any inactivity fee. So, and as for me, because I'm a Jade, Green, Indigo level tier, I still do get to enjoy the perks of basically unlimited free airport lounge, which I hope they will keep. And in my recent trip, I just used this lounge pass twice. So one when I was flying out and one when I'm flying, like when I returned back to Singapore before I kind of, went through the immigration. As for me, I am absolutely enjoying the perks of the unlimited lounge passes. It's just so awesome. And if there's a comment with over 100 likes asking me to talk about the lounge pass tutorial, I'll be sure to make one for you guys, so be sure to give me a thumbs up. Oh, and by the way, each access to the lounge pass is 75 Sing dollars in Singapore, so you really save a lot of money from this. So it's